All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast. And for the second part of the show, we are going to discuss Houston Astros second baseman Jose Altuve and whether or not I believe he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Now, he's on his way to having a Hall of Fame career. Now, obviously, things can happen and, he just falls off and, that ends up not happening. But he is on his way to having a Hall of Fame career. And this was a topic that was discussed on the Michael Kay show yesterday. They were discussing it. And I thought, maybe since I'm doing the baseball show tomorrow, I could talk about it as well. Now, obviously, I have me and Jose Altuve have our differences. He's broken my heart many times, and that will definitely continue as long as he is playing for the Astros and just playing baseball in general. So, obviously, he's definitely a thorn in my side as a Yankee fan. And, of course, he was also part of the team in 2017. But he was part of the team in 2017 that cheated. And that's where this discussion comes in, is because of the cheating scandal. Now, listen, they talk about, well, he said that he, would never take the signs, he wouldn't, take part in that. How do we know? There's no way that he just didn't take advantage of it. And of course, then you also have in 2019 when he hit the walk-off home run against Chapman. And by the way, 4-year anniversary since that happened to send the Astros to the World Series. And then as he was rounding third, he was saying, "Don't take my jersey off." And everybody's like, "What? Why?" Because, the speculation of the buzzer. Now, it wasn't proven, of course, but there had to be something going on. I mean, I know he said that, the tattoo and, he was embarrassed of it or something and his wife would get mad. I don't know. It was just weird, just a very weird thing. So there could have been something. Wasn't proven. But listen, for me, I think Jose Altuve should be in the Hall of Fame. I want to pull up the graphic here that I have for today. So these are his postseason. On the top are his postseason numbers for this year. So 265, 2 home runs, 2 RBIs. The 2 home runs came the other day, against the Rangers. And then obviously his career postseason numbers are on the bottom: 271, 25 home runs, 51 RBIs, 841 OPS. Actually, did he hit 2 home runs the other night against the Rangers? Or I know he definitely hit one. He hit another one like on the first pitch in one of the I think it was one of the games against the Twins. Yeah, it was against the Twins. I mean, no surprise there. But yeah, I mean, guy's a great postseason player. He's a clutch player. He's a clutch player. And obviously, listen, like the cheating scandal, yeah, it happened. It's bad. And that could definitely be a reason why he gets held out of it. But, I mean, this definitely opens up a bigger discussion, like, should players that have cheated be in the Hall of Fame? Yeah. I think they should. I think they should. Because you know what? A lot of the players that cheated, I mean, you look at Barry Bonds, A-Rod, that was obviously the steroid era. Pete Rose with the gambling. All these players are super talented, had Hall of Fame careers, but they did things to enhance their careers that, they went past that line of, you cheated. And listen, I think, if those guys don't do what they did, then obviously they're in the Hall of Fame. But they made mistakes, and it happens. But they did it because they're super talented. They wanted to gain even more of an advantage. So, for steroid users, yeah, they should be in the Hall of Fame. and obviously this is different because this has to deal with like a whole team, not an individual player. I mean, you look at the guys on the Astros, like, Altuve, I mean, Bregman, however his career shapes out. I mean, so far, like, again, he's on that trajectory as well. Um, but I mean, these guys are just very good players, and they're doing this, like, as far as we know, after cheating. Um, I mean, that 2017 Astros team was really good. They didn't need to cheat. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, and I've said this before, I'm not going to sit here and say the cheating is the reason why the Yankees lost the World Series or lost the championship series. Yankees lost because they couldn't hit. Now, I think the Dodgers, they have a bit more complaining because, the video of, like, them not swinging at any of Clayton Kershaw's curveballs or any of his off-speed pitches. Yeah, that's a problem. And, I mean, they lost that, like, 13-12, 12-11 game in Houston. Yeah, I mean, the Dodgers win that game, they win the World Series. So, I think the Dodgers have a little bit. I mean, yes, the Yankees obviously can complain about it, but I think the Dodgers can complain about it a little bit more just because, like, I think the cheating impacted that series more as opposed to the Yankees. Because the Yankees just simply didn't hit. That's why they lost. I'm not blaming the cheating. I will not blame the cheating. And the excuses they make, especially last year, talking about the roof being open and it carried Bregman's ball out for a home run, but it knocked down Judge. I mean, give me a break. Sorry. Didn't want to bring that up. But Now, again, the Astros, to me, I don't like them more just because they just continue to, punch me in the gut every single year. Except this year. You know what? It's funny because 2021, the Yankees get knocked down in the wild card round. They don't even make the playoffs this year. They actually finished in those years with the winning record against the Astros. But last year, we had 99 games. Nope. ALCS, they get swept. But the year we don't make the playoffs, they sweep them in Houston. I mean, what? But anyways, yeah. So to me, I think Altuve should be in the Hall of Fame. I think he should, because you know what? Like, yeah, like they stole signs, but they wasn't using performance enhancing drugs. Even though, like I said, I think the guys that did do steroids, I think they should be in the Hall of Fame too. Altuve is just a great player. He's a clutch player. And none of this stuff seems to affect him. His career in the regular season, I mean, he's a 300 hitter, 209 home runs, 747 RBIs. He's got an 835 OPS. In the regular season, he did miss some time, but he had an over 900 OPS, 17 home runs, 51 RBIs, batted over 300. I mean, the guy's just consistent every single season. He should be a Hall of Famer. He should. I mean, the cheating scandal definitely is going to factor into that, but not to say, listen, I'm not going to forgive them for that. I'm not going to forget, but, I'm going to give the respect that they deserve. Like, it's one thing, though, like if the cheating stops and they just, go into the tank and they're awful. They just can't hit anymore, which that wasn't going to be the case. I was kind of hoping that, with all the booing and everything, that would affect them and they would just, not be good anymore. But they kind of caught a break with the pandemic because, 2020 was the year we all found out about it. And then obviously the pandemic happened. There was no fans. So they kind of caught a break there. But, yeah, I mean, listen, they went back to the World Series in 19 and 2021, and then they won last year. So, I mean, and they could be well on their way to another World Series championship this year. So, they are a well-run organization. Obviously, the cheating's always going to be like that dark cloud that hangs over them. But, I mean, they're a good team. And right now, a lot of the players that were on that team aren't on that team anymore. I mean, you got Bregman, Altuve, Verlander was on that team. I think Presley was on the team. Trying to think of who else. Am I missing anybody else? Because Springer's gone, Correa's gone. Lance McCullers, but he's hurt. Brian McCann was there, Beltran was there, but they're both retired now. Two former Yankees. Dallas Keuchel was there. He's not there anymore. Yeah, a lot of those guys are gone. Was Maldonado on that team too? Might have been. But yeah, a lot of those players are gone. And now it's like a different team. Alvarez wasn't on that team. He was there in 19. He's a monster. We're going to talk about him in a second, for the third part of the show. But, he's unbelievable. A lot of those players are gone. But they just keep going, and, Altuve just continues to perform well in the postseason. As long as he keeps playing like this, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. As much as, we have our differences. And, the cheating thing is always going to be there. It's never going to go away. But I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. But, again, that's not for me to decide. That's up to, the people that vote. And obviously they have a difference of opinion. But, yeah. But also, you look at what he's done after that. He just continues to play well, be a clutch player. If they win another, and they won last year. They win again this year. Come on, you're gonna. I don't know. I really have no idea. So we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, we're gonna get into the ALCS in a little bit. But yeah, I think Jose Altuve should be in the Hall of Fame. But let me know what you guys think. Should he be in the Hall of Fame or not? Let me know what you guys think. I think so, but obviously everybody has a different opinion. So yeah. So with that, we are going to take our second break of the show, and then when we come back, we'll continue our Astros discussion. We'll recap, what's happened so far in the American League Championship Series between the Astros and the Rangers, and that'll be the third topic of the show. But again, I just want to remind you guys, if you want to get your comments recognized in the chat, I highlight it and address it during the live broadcast. Make sure to go to streamelements.com/gsmcsportsnetwork./tip. It really helps the show. It's very easy to do. It also helps us out as well to give you guys, the best content we possibly can give. And then, of course, for bonus coverage materials that are not covered by this live broadcast, make sure to go to patreon.com and search up GSMC Sports Network. So, yeah, with that, we are going to take our second break of the show, and then when we come back, we'll talk about the championship series in the American League. So stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast.